still out at the homestead, so we're stuck with cell phone live streaming for the next few days. Welcome back to SPTV, folks, where every day is one step closer to the total collapse of Scientology. What happened to Tom Cruise? What is OT8? What would have happened to Tom Cruise on OT8? What does that involve? This is a Scientology thing, OT8. Guys, if you watch my channel a lot, you will know Tom Cruise is an OT8 level Scientologist. Grant Cardone is an OT8 level Scientologist. Greta Van Susteren is an OT8 level Scientologist. What is OT8? What is the magic? What is it all about? In order to describe what OT8 is about, we very briefly have to describe what Scientology's other OT levels are about. Now, guys, OT stands for Operating Thetan. Thetan is what Scientologists call the immortal spirit. Operating in this sense means operating at your fullest potential. L. Ron Hubbard says that we are all Thetans. We are all natively godlike in our power. And yet, for various reasons that L. Ron Hubbard explains, we have fallen away from that power to a point where we are imprisoned on planet Earth. We are imprisoned in these human meat bodies. We have full amnesia of all of our previous 76 trillion years of lives that we have lived. And we have also forgotten how natively godlike and powerful we once were. L. Ron Hubbard would have you believe that doing Scientology's super secret, confidential, operating Thetan levels restores you as a spiritual being to your native God-like state. That's a pretty good brief description of Scientology's OT levels. Okay, so to explain what OT8 is, we're going to start with OT3. First of all, OT1 and 2, not very much worth mentioning. OT3, you learn about Xenu, the galactic, he gets referred to as a galactic overlord. He's really a politician. I think overlord here is more of a political term. He's a dictator. And he ran some planets in the Galactic Federation. And he decided that there was an overpopulation problem. And he wanted to handle this problem. So he called a bunch of people in for tax audits, roughly half the population. And then he said, psych, you're not really here for a tax audit. I'm going to freeze you in glycol. I'm going to put you on a space plane. I'm going to fly you to Earth, which L. Ron Hubbard says was called TGIAC or TGIAC. I think TGIAC is the most commonly accepted pronunciation. And I'm going to drop you in the volcanoes. And if that's not enough, I'm going to blow your ass up with some hydrogen bombs. Okay? And from that moment on, you're going to be so screwed up, you're not going to know who you are, where you are, what you're doing. You're not going to know anything. You're just going to blow around in the winds of Earth for the trillennia. Okay. So L. Ron Hubbard teaches us on OT3 that all of these spirits that got blown up in the volcanoes with hydrogen bombs, they are attached to us like parasitic alien souls. These disembodied, alien, half-dead souls are stuck to us by the hundreds of thousands, and you have to telepathically counsel these alien beings and convince them to leave your body, like drop off of you like a leech, just letting go, and go inhabit a baby body and grow up to be a nice, bright, shiny human being. That's OT3. Okay. Then on OT4, you find more body Thetans. And except these are the body Thetans that you couldn't find the first time because these body Thetans were occluded because of their drug histories. Then on OT5, more body Thetans. See, one of the things that happens is that these body Thetans, they clump together in clusters, and you have to break up the clusters before you can get rid of the individual body Thetans. And so you continue getting rid of more body Thetans on OT5. And then OT6 is actually a training course where you learn how to audit OT7. And OT7 is more body Thetans. Except now you are basically solo auditing yourself. Well, solo auditing means auditing yourself 6 times a day, 365 days a year, for up to 10 years. Getting rid of body Thetans, not only on your body, but that you find in the environment. Okay, after OT7, you're pretty gosh darn sure you've gotten rid of all the body Thetans. So then what happens on OT8 is they go through all of your auditing files from whenever you first got into Scientology. And they go through all of the auditing sessions where you were encouraged to, in the course of the auditing session, remember things from past lives. This becomes more and more common the more auditing that one gets and the higher up Scientology's bridge to total freedom one progresses, one is expected to more commonly in auditing sessions recall things from previous lives, millions of years ago, billions of years ago, trillions of years ago, in other planets, in other solar systems, in other galaxies, even in other universes. Because Scientology believes that we are all immortal spiritual beings and that bodies are just temporary, lifetimes is really just an apparency. They're not real. Like you only ever live one lifetime. You are a being, you are a thetan, you've been around 76 trillion years old. Just because you pick up a body and the body dies doesn't really make that a lifetime per se. My point here is that a Scientologist, throughout their career in Scientology, remembering all of these past life incidents, it's not like they're just remembering someone else's memories. They're remembering their own memories from previous lives. This person's, Scientologists' whole track recalls, which is their memories of their earlier lifetimes, becomes part of it becomes part of their identity. Because, I'm being a little redundant here, but it's intentional. So if you're a Scientologist and you're in an auditing session and you're remembering something from 1,000,000 years ago, that's you, is what you're telling yourself. You are remembering yourself from 1,000,000 years ago. It's not just, something over there. It's very much part of who you feel you are. It is part of your core identity as a person. Okay, so what happens? You get to OT8. They go through all your auditing files. They go through all the past life memories that you've had. And now your job on OT8 is to determine which memories were actually yours. Which memories were actually yours and which memories belonged to your body thetans. OT8 is the first time L. Ron Hubbard even introduces to you the idea that some of your memories, and the catch here is that it turns out the vast majority of all of your memories that you have convinced yourself are of you for the last 76 trillion years, that wasn't even you. Those weren't your memories. Those were the memories of one of the tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of body thetans that you've spent the last 10 years trying to telepathically exercise to get them away from you. That's like the final reveal in Scientology. This person being yourself, that you thought you were getting to know better through your Scientology auditing, you thought you were recovering all these memories, you thought you were breaking through the amnesia, the enforced amnesia. Psych, they weren't even yours. And then at the end of OT8, you're basically told, now that you know who you are not, now you are ready to find out who you really are. Now you might go, oh my God, what's the next step where you find out who you really are? Well, guys, that's supposed to be OT 9 and 10. But if you've been watching my channel for any amount of time, you might already know the biggest joke of all. In Scientology, there is no OT 9 and 10. It doesn't exist. Nobody knows what they're supposed to be. L. Ron Hubbard never told anybody what OT 9 and 10 was supposed to be. They never found any notes in all of the files he left behind when he died. David Miscavige doesn't know what OT 9 and 10 is. Senior CS International doesn't know what OT 9 and 10 is. No one on the face of the earth in Scientology knows what OT 9 and 10 is because it does not exist. And yet people in Scientology pay hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not in some cases millions of dollars, and decades getting up to the level of OT8. And like I said, guys, Tom Cruise has done it. Grant Cardone has done it. Greta Van Susteren has done it. They've already found out that this is what you get on OT8. You get basically a psych. All those memories weren't even yours, Holmes. And yet these Scientologists, one of the things that keeps them in Scientology is the belief that OT 9 and 10 is something that L. Ron Hubbard put together shortly before he died, aka dropped his body in 1986, and that OT 9 and 10 have been sitting in the secret vault since before 1986, just waiting for the time that they can be released. And David Miscavige and L. Ron Hubbard both said that these levels are so powerful, planet Earth won't be ready for these levels. Society won't be calm and stable enough for these levels to be released until every Scientology organization in the world expands up to a certain size so that Scientology can have enough influence in society to keep society calm and rational and sane, so that OT 9 and 10 can be released. And this is why Scientologists give so much time and so much money, and they turn their children over to work for the organization on billion-year contracts, because they believe that OT 9 and 10 are the next pieces of magic that humanity and planet Earth need in order to save all mankind from destruction. And that's the biggest joke. It doesn't even exist. Guys, for you Scientologists under the bubble who stumble upon these videos, just ask yourself, if OT 9 and 10 were really there, do you think it would have been 40 years since OT 8 was released? And David Miscavige and management would just be like, not yet, guys. Planet Earth, it's not ready. Just give us a little bit more money. Just sign another billion-year contract. If you think about it for even a few minutes, it just don't make any goddamn sense. Okay, so that's what OT 8 is, guys. I know I've spoken about this in a whole bunch of videos, but I'm trying to do a short little one question, one answer videos. And I'm going to be regularly asking you guys to weigh in on my community tab on this channel. No matter how long you've been watching my channel, short time, long time, what's a question you've had about Scientology that you haven't heard answered yet? And I'm just going to be tackling them in little short videos. All right, guys, that is probably it for me this evening. We are going to head out to Safety Harbor for Third Friday. If you happen to see us out there, please say hi. Talk to you guys soon.